3 creepy true school lockdown stories. Most people think school lockdowns are just drills. Routine safety measures you forget about a few minutes later. But sometimes they aren't drills. Sometimes the reason you're told to hide under a desk isn't a test. It's because something or someone is already inside. These are 3 real stories from students who experienced lockdowns that still haunt them to this day. Lock the door. Turn off the lights. Let's begin. Story 1. The footsteps in the hall was my sophomore year. A cold, cloudy Tuesday in October. We were halfway through history class when everything suddenly stopped. Our teacher froze mid-sentence. The intercom cracked with static. Then a voice came through, low, urgent, trembling. We are now under lockdown. This is not a drill. At first, nobody knew. Then she whispered, everyone, against the wall. Now, we turned off the lights, closed the blinds, and sat in total silence. The hum of the fluorescent bulbs faded, and all that was left was the sound of breathing. 20 hearts beating too fast in one dark room. Minutes passed. Then the sound started, footsteps, slow, deliberate, echoing down the hallway. Each step was heavy. Too heavy for a student, too slow for a teacher. They got closer. Our classroom door had a small vertical window, covered by construction paper like every other door during a lockdown, though we couldn't see who it was. But we could hear the handle that T-turned once, clicked twice, then again, harder. Our teacher covered her mouth, signaling us to stay silent. Whoever was outside didn't knock. They just stood there. We could hear their breathing. Long inhales, shallow exhales, like someone trying to stay calm. After what felt like forever, the footsteps moved away till we heard the faint creak of another door down the hall. Then, running fast, erratic, followed by a loud metallic bang. Someone started crying quietly in the corner. Our teacher whispered, it's okay, but her voice shook. Then, the intercom turned on again. This is the police. Stay where you are. It didn't sound like the same voice as before. When the lockdown finally ended, they escorted us to the gym. Police cars surrounded the building, but they wouldn't tell us much. Just that someone had entered through a side door that was supposed to be locked. They said the intruder never made it past the east wing. But our classroom was in the west. That a few weeks later, I went back to that hallway to grab a project I'd left behind. The janitor was cleaning the building. I asked him if anyone had been caught. He looked up, frowned, and said quietly, "Kid." There was no one in the building. Cameras didn't show a thing. I didn't believe him, because as I walked away, I heard it again, faint, echoing from the end of the hall. Footsteps, slow, careful, and they stopped right behind me. When I turned around, the hallway was empty, but the door handle of my old classroom was moving. Story 2, the girl in the bathroom. This one happened to my older sister. She was a senior, and it was just another ordinary day at school. Until it wasn't. She had gone to the bathroom between classes when the alarm went off. Lockdown.at first, she thought it was a drill. But the lights, they dimmed automatically, turning a dull red glow over everything. The red made every corner look darker, every shadow deeper, more threatening. She tried calling her teacher, texting anyone, no signal. The phones were dead inside those walls. Then she heard it. From the last stall, a faint, muffled crying. Not sobbing, just quiet, almost careful. The kind of sound that makes you question if it's real. She whispered, "Are you okay?" No answer. Her heart raced. She looked under the stall. And there, small black shoes, facing the wrong way. Just shoes. No legs, no body. Nothing else. The crying stopped. Her stomach dropped. Then 2 soft knocks on the stall door. Knock. Knock. She froze, every instinct screaming at her to run. But the bathroom door wouldn't open. It had locked automatically with a lockdown system. Her breathing grew heavy. She pounded on the door, screaming for help. Her voice bounced off the tiles, but no one could hear her. Then she felt it, a cold draft that didn't belong. Something moving past the stalls, slow, deliberate. The lights flickered. Shadows stretched across the floor. twisting and bending in ways that shouldn't be possible. The sound of the crying returned, closer this time, almost at her feet. She backed into the corner, heart pounding, and whispered, "Please, just go away." Minutes felt like hours. Then the siren stopped. The door finally released. She ran out so fast, she didn't look back. When staff searched the bathroom, there was no one. No footprints, no juice, not even water in the sinks had been disturbed. Weeks later, she refused to use that bathroom again. She said sometimes when the hallway is quiet, she can still hear faint sobbing just behind the door, just waiting for someone to come back. She never explained it to me fully, just said some things you don't want to see or hear, and some things never leave you alone. Story 3. The intercom. This happened to me in 8th grade. A normal Tuesday morning. The sun streaming through the windows, students chatting quietly before class. Everything seemed ordinary until it wasn't. Without warning, the intercom clicked on. A voice, unfamiliar, low, urgent, said, "All teachers initiate lockdown procedures." This is not a drill. Panic spread immediately. Our teacher's hand shook as she locked the door. She told us to hide. We crouched under desks, against walls, holding our breaths. Minutes passed. Nothing. Then, from the intercom again, the same voice whispered, "Don't move." It didn't sound like the principal, not even close, just someone standing too close to the microphone, breathing, watching, waiting to my heart raced. The room felt smaller, the shadows longer. The usual sounds of the school, the hum of lights, distant footsteps in the hallway, all disappeared. It was just us and the voice that we stayed frozen. Time stretched. 30 minutes. 40 minutes. I could hear faint scratching from the vents. A chair scraping against the floor, though he hadn't moved. Then, suddenly, the intercom clicked off. Silence. 10 minutes later, police arrived. They were confused. There had been no lockdown order. The intercom system hadn't been activated in the office. They checked recordings. Nothing. No voice. No sound. No message. No trace. Months passed. Life went back to normal. Or so we thought. Then, every year around the same day, in that same classroom, the intercom turns on by itself. For exactly 5 seconds. And every time, all you can hear is breathing. Not hurried. Not panicked. Just calm. Patient. Like someone waiting for you to move, to make a mistake. Sometimes I wonder if it's ever really over, that if lockdowns are meant to protect us, or just to keep something contained, waiting. Because every time I pass that classroom now, I feel it. Eyes on me. Watching. Silent. And the faintest sound, a whisper I can't identify, echoing through the speakers as if it's saying, "I'm still here." School lockdowns are supposed to protect us, but sometimes they just trap us inside, with whatever's already there. Which story disturbed you the most? Leave a comment below. And if you want more true psychological horror, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, stay quiet, stay hidden,